Hey, Karen, thank you so much for doing the ad on the promo. Looking good.
All right, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
chugging along. It's not the unicorn, like you
Yeah.
said,
Just
but
sort of holding steady, getting a nice number of new unique clicks every day. People are sharing it, the ad as well, getting some shares. So yeah, I think it's doing all right. It seems to, I'm getting daily sales
yeah.
from the promotion, and it's hard to obviously know whether it's from the ad or us sharing in newsletters on our pages, but I think it's helping.
Did you say you've got the attribution links in there?
No, I didn't put them in there. I thought it might be a bit of a risk because they're still little bit flaky. If I'd had those in there, then I could definitely have checked. But I used my link from the book funnel promo, so I'll be able to see if there's a boost from that because I sort of know your average, don't you? They give you a average number of clicks you get, so I can see if that's much higher than usual. Then that will show that at least people are clicking on the ad to have a look at the books.
I'm just just looking through. Oh, use that. That makes perfect sense. I'm just checking to see what we've got for the results on that so far. Sorry about the delay. Hubby was heading out the door. He has me do his banking for him. So, all right, getting into here. And this actually, to me, the book funnel information isn't correct because I'm getting really good sales on the bundle that I have in there, and it doesn't show the clicks at all for it. Right now, it shows we have 2,700 plus cover clicks
That's
and
good.
16, almost 1,700 promo views. So that's not too sucky.
Mm.
That seems to be chugging along. But thank you so much for doing that. That was fantastic.
That's all right. That's good practice. I keep meaning to crack Facebook ads, so it's good to have another go and use something else to see if we can get sales boosted on the book funnel.
So how's everybody doing? What's everybody working on?
Well, I'm getting back into my work in progress. I also just bought Plotter today. I bit the bullet because I need a better way to do a series Bible because I hate Excel docs. I have Excel docs. They're not working. So, and then, because I have such a complicated universe, because everything interconnects, that I also lose track of which Excel documents got which thing on it. So yeah, but at the my work in progress, I'm getting back into it. And I do like Becca's course, so I'm gonna do the one-on-one next week. It's basically over. So Lainey, definitely, I think you should definitely look into checking it out. I think it would really help you be more productive.
Okay, I definitely will. I mean, it's been on my mind for so long, and hearing you say that, I think it definitely can't hurt. And everything I've heard about it is positive.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about, I mean, the thing is that it's not, first of all the lectures you read them, which I think is great. I'm so sick of like my entrepreneurial world where everything is videos, and I'm like, ugh. But this, everything is written, so she's obviously knows her target market. So, and then you can download the PDFs and save them. So I've been faithfully doing that, but it's really just based on your personality versus, so here's a productivity, like how you write, and then she gives tips on like writing, editing, productivity, so she goes through every single one of those and then explains how, depending on where you are at and the personality, is how you might what you could try. And then we do have this one-on-one call, so and then we can ask questions. I don't really ask questions because I'm kind of a lurker, but we've got this one-on-one call that mine's next week where we can really, have everything be personalized. So it's the personalized part of it that I do like.
Has anyone taken Lee Savino's course, the six-figure author or seven-figure author? Was it good, Karen?
Yeah, it's really good. Very straightforward, practical advice. It's Nick Erickson and Lee Savino working together. They give you templates to fill in and have a couple of sessions where they talk about what you should be focusing on. And I think I joined the first time they did that group. And you get to go back for free every year. They run it sort of December, so it's sort of starting now almost. Yeah, I found it really good, really focused my thoughts on what I wanted to do in terms of advertising and books I should be focusing on. So I've used that template the whole year. So yeah, I recommend it. It's good.
It came across my feed a couple days ago and then again today, and I also heard good things from other people about it. So that
Yeah, I got a lot out of it. Yeah.
my professional development is that and the record course.
Yeah, I don't know what they're charging now. I think when I did it, it was $99.
Yeah, it's 500.
It's
Oh,
500.
shit.
It's gone up.
Hit that right now.
If you like, I probably shouldn't, but I could send you the template that they give you that helped me to sort of plan out, or it started me planning out what I was going to do. And then I just added my own bits into it.
Right.
If you want to see if
Gonna
that would
send
be
it to
worth
Lena.
it.
Can you send it to everybody?
Yeah.
If it's
You won't tell.
Gotta promise not to tell Nick, I'll get in trouble. It's just a blank template. And I thought it was good. It really helped me think about what I was going to be doing each month and my assets that I already had in terms of my books and what I planned to do to broaden them out. So it kind of kicked me in the bum in terms of getting my paperbacks finally sorted, and what different ad platforms I'd be focusing on. So yeah, I thought it was good. Is it worth that amount of money? I don't know. I mean, maybe I know there's new bits added to the course. I went and had a really quick look this morning. So that's quite a lot. I don't know if it's worth that, because it's not rocket science. It's not. There's no
Right.
secrets that they tell you. It's we all know this stuff already. It's just getting it all in a logical order and having a framework to actually do it. I'll send
The
it.
one-
I post it in the group. You've got to promise me all that you don't share it anywhere else. You don't tell Nick. And if any of you do, I'll come after you and tell you off.
Or you're going to turn us into a frog or something. I read your Amazon thing.
Oh yeah, my author page.
Or a
Yeah,
new,
I do.
yeah, your author page or a new.
I got
I tried
better.
to make it a bit different, so people probably think it's just weird, but
I thought it was funny. I enjoyed reading your little author thing.
So has anybody, you mentioned Plotter, Michelle? So I have it and I'm a slacker. Karen, you brought up about how we know a lot of these things and we don't, it's a matter of going
That's
back and
exactly it. I know. And one of the things that Becca talks about is keystone habits. So changing, don't change all the things, just change one thing. And the one thing can lead to a cascade effect, which is true. Like when you read The Power of Habit, wasn't it The Power of Habit about that girl, that the woman who went to Egypt and decided she was going to quit smoking. And then she was overweight, lost her job, lost her boyfriend, had no money. So she went to Egypt. And then while she's standing in Egypt, she decided to quit smoking. And that was the only thing she did. And then 5 years later, she had lost weight, had a relationship,
like running
had a great
marathons.
job,
Yeah.
her entire life, she turned entire life around. And all she did was stop smoking. And making your bed is another keystone habit, which is weird. But anyways, so yes, and so I know, so I'm not going to try to change all the things, but I thought I wanted to start integrating more stuff. I do like the plan, that's that strategy part of me. I love planning. I love making up plans, and then I don't always follow them, so then I make up new plans. So but maybe I need to lean more into making plans.
But that I'm actually rereading Power of Habit because that was such an amazing book for me. And what Karen said about the fact that, we know this, but it was still very helpful, is what I'm finding is now we're to the point, I could be a slow learner, but is that we do know the things, but I forget the things and wander way off course, and I'm in the weeds and I'm doing whatever. And to have somebody get me back on track, the courses or the books or whatever, or you guys get me so that I'm not wandering around by myself chasing butterflies and whatever shiny new thing is down there. So
Consistency in executing your plan, because I'm much better at planning than the execution, and that's
You and I have some of the
Probably a
same strengths,
strategy
remember?
too. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm better at planning. But the thing is, I do have J. And I realized when I was doing this course, because I keep forgetting to do it, is that when I put my to-do list down, I actually do it. So, but I got to like take 5 minutes and write down my to-do list. I write down because I like to cross things off too. So
Right.
why don't I like, the night before or the day of, write my to-do list down, and then I probably will be much more, and then write down like, write this many. And I think I got to be more specific than just write, like I just put the name of my book, the title of my work in progress, but that doesn't seem to be enough. I'm wondering if I need to be a little more detailed on what I'm getting done. And then because if you plan to write, if you're a J and you plan to write, you'll write. If you don't plan to write, which I don't always plan to write, you don't write. It's kind of stupid, but that's the thing. It's how stupid the whole thing. Your person, like all this little stuff that just seems ridiculous, but it works.
Yeah, I think the more specific you can be, the happier your brain is. So if you say, I want to write more words tomorrow, your brain may say, well, we'll do 10 more words and I've
Yes.
solved the problem. If you say, I will dictate for 1 hour and edit for 2 hours, your brain will go, right, okay, that's the focus, that's the boundaries we're working in. So I find I have to be specific or otherwise it won't happen. So I've always got like dictate for an hour or update 4 books, and then tick them off. I love ticking things off the list and like going done at the end of the day. But I find if I'm really vague, then my brain will be vague too, and I'll waffle around for half the day, not really doing or achieving much. So the more, it doesn't need to be detailed, but you just write a sentence of what you want to achieve with numbers. What do they call it? Was it smart goals? A
Yeah,
bit
the
like
smart, yeah, the
goals.
specific time. I know.
Yeah.
I think, and that's what she says too, like rather than also for some of us, like me that has trouble with high word counts, instead of focusing on high word counts, what exactly you said, an hour dictating and 2 hours. So it's like the time you spend in your manuscripts, because I like to like muddle, like yesterday, I only got 1,000 words written, but I got into this whole subplot thing that's been bothering me, and it's like, and I fleshed this whole thing out. So I spent like 3 or 4 hours on my manuscript. I only got 1,000 words done, but I got all this like planning done. So rather than like beating myself up on I only got 1,000 words written, it's like, but but I spent a lot of time in my manuscript and in my idea. So I think that's another key to this, also to stop beating ourselves up, which is not very helpful.
Well, Michelle, you gave me a huge light bulb moment about a week ago. And because we were talking about, you and I were chatting about the personality types, the Gallup Strengths Finders and such. And you said that you were going through the course with Becca and you realized that your maximum really that's comfortable for you is about 2,500 words. And I mean, I dug into that a bit more and realized I want huge word counts. I want to be Amanda Lee. Not going to happen because my quality suffers so much. And what happens actually is I lock up and just, I'm going to wander off on Netflix or something instead. So that's my own weakness. But for you to actually, I felt almost like a freedom for you to say, it's okay if your brain is structured this way, 20, Stephen King does 2,500 words a day. That's his goal. That's all right not to do the 7K in a day or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or
So
like
thank
the
you.
Elena, you're welcome. I know it was very freeing for me too. It's like, or like the Elena, like she sits down and writes, like, I was on her thing at 20 books and she's like, this month she wrote 200,000 words in July. And she says, this is too much for me. I was very grumpy. And then after that, she actually dropped below 100,000 words in a month, but that's still just 100,000 words in a month. I'm like, there's no way I'm getting 100,000 words in a month. But yeah, but it was interesting looking at her planning. I know we're not wired like Elena or Amanda Lee. We're just not. So we're not going to do
More
it.
productive for me to do 2,500 words a day than for me to go ahead and go, oh my gosh, I should be doing 7K in a day. And I'm goofing around on YouTube or whatever. So
Well,
I don't
and
know.
the thing is I did RAM too with Karen, and it was interesting because she had speakers. I was so heartened by this. She had several speakers of well, I don't know, I don't know if they're 7-figure or not, actually, now that I say that, but they were successful. They were at least 6-figure and 7-figure, and they didn't write fast. Like that woman, that author that did the Twisted Love series. I mean, since I don't follow a lot of romance, I didn't know that, but my goodness, her book is 3 years old and it's still like ranked 45 in the whole Kindle store. And I know she's got how many books she's got, and it's been 3 years? Five books. That's it. She writes like 1 or 2 books a year. And she says, I can't write fast. And how she did it, well, anyways, she did influencers and TikTok, but I was like, there's people, she's now obviously making 7 figures and she only writes 1 or 2 books a year. I can do it too. So
I mean, I think to that point, and we talk about this all the time, it's that balance between the writing and the marketing. And if you're burning yourself out writing, then you're not leaving time for marketing. And if they're not good words, then it's just kind of, you're on a hamster wheel.
right. And then you're unhappy. And then you've created a job you hate. Why on earth? This is hard enough as it is. Why on earth do we want to create jobs we hate?
Right.
Well, I think also having to tell myself 2,500 and you're done, I have what I should be doing all the time in the back of my brain. You should be doing marketing and blah, 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 and whatever. And I get so that I will tell people, no, I'm writing today, when I could be out with friends. I could be out, at the gym. I could be doing all sorts of things. Instead, that just is this kind of dark cloud that sits over top of everything. So if I have the freedom to say 2,500 and done, that's
Right. And then
pretty
enjoy
good.
your life, because I mean, really, life is too short to have I mean, if we're just making money and we hate what we do, we might as well just go get a job, because it's a hell of a lot easier. It's a lot less stressful to have a paycheck that just ends up in your bank account each week.
Meetings, no.
Yeah.
Flashbacks. Anybody else using Plotter?
I have Plotter. I haven't really used it extensively. I had a go, but yeah, I need to go back and have another look at it. I'm still faithful to my old fashioned way of the index cards. That is just Plotter on paper, because you can scooch them around and have different colors and that sort of thing. But I've got it. There's a good YouTube channel with the guy who created, I don't know if it's the creator or someone who uses it extensively, and he has author interviews. There's a couple on there with a cozy mystery author, and she shows you her outlines. That's quite interesting channel.
Oh, I should check it out. I can't do index cards. I can't really do anything. So that's part of my problem. So I thought I got to just try this, because right now I've got notes in Scrivener on a piece of paper. I've got notes all over the place. I go back to my books. It is so unorganized, and that's probably the most unproductive, unorganized part of my whole life. And the fact that I'm making this complicated, massive world, I'm like, I am heading for a massive breakdown here. So I thought I've got to try something else.
There was an author online who was talking about Plotter, and she had a really novel way to use it, which caught my attention. I have Plotter, I don't use it. I have my structure that I put in chapters into Word, and then I bastardize it as I go. But she was using Plotter for real life timing for how she does her she lists her promotions, which book is new, what's due to go to the editor. She uses it for scheduling.
Oh, that's interesting. I should check that out too. That might be helpful with having people help too.
Then you could look and see exactly when's the last time you promoted this book. When's the last time you had a Facebook ad or whatever.
Yeah.
I looked at that. Maybe that'll be something I'll actually use Plotter for.
That's not a bad idea. I know I really hate Excel documents. I know that
We're tracking all that now in Milanote.
On Milanote?
Yep, we've got a board in Milanote that's monthly for the submissions we've done. We've got within our promo, Erin is ridiculous, and if I showed you this, it would be scary. But she has a whole product or whole promo board, and then within that, there's a submission. So I can go in and see what's been submitted, when I've got to change prices, when we last ran anything, and it's all in one place and it works fantastic. She's plotting in there as well, and she's paying for it. I'm still using the free one because basically I piggyback off of all of her crap. So, but she has put everything in there. It's ridiculous.
What is it? It's you're talking.
That Milanote. Hang
should-
on, I'll give you a link in the chat.
In the notes also on Messenger.
You're like disappearing. You look like a ghost, Regina, as you're disappearing into your background.
Yeah, that's I meant to take that off, and I have to go in there and figure out how to do that. I put that on for, there it is. I put that on for, we did a interview with somebody there. Now you can see my actual background. And I didn't want to, my husband was wandering around back there while I was doing an interview. So I changed the background and I forgot that I did it. Anyway, where is my Milanote thing?
And she did put it up on Messenger for you, Regina.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Copy that. I can show you what she's done if you want. Let's see.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I really need.
Yeah, I
some
can if you want to see it.
Second, I'll go
Okay,
ahead and
so that's
make
there.
it so you can share.
It's my referral link. Not that it really, I care if you use that or not, but you can take off the end of it if you want to.
Why not?
All I get's like 20 extra notes or some shit, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so if you make it so I can share, I will share her.
Try
I
that.
will share the Milanote. Close that. Share screen. There we go. Share that. Okay, now I have to move this thing out of the way because it's
So
already on top
is this
of
the
everything.
free version or is this?
No, this is my version. It's my Milanote, but because she shared all of her boards with me, I have access to all of her crap. And I think that only if I edit something she made, I don't think I'm dinged for doing a note. You know, because you can only do so many, but if you don't pay for it, but she's sharing all of this stuff. So we have in the shared boards right now. We have the paperback Etsy shop that we're starting. The language and vocabulary is for her, universal fantasies, writing and editing, plotting and character development. I'll open that for you. And you can kind of see that she has a basic whodunit plotting thing that we had saved. But then within, and I think that's just all that there is in here. So, but if you scroll down, she's got all sorts of things that she's been looking at for that. And then if I go back, you can see, I believe that somewhere in there, she's got her own plotting, but I haven't, she might not have shared her own plotting with me, which is fine. I don't actually want that. So we have launch plans, we have templates, social media, but it's the promo that I want to show you the most. Okay, so within the promo, if you look over here, you can see submissions, sweepstakes and giveaways, AMS, BookBug, keyword mining, comp authors. Those are all
That's
separate
awesome.
boards. Yeah,
Wow.
so within this, and it doesn't help that this thing
So
is,
you got all that laid out too. So do you,
Mhm.
yeah, I've never even heard of Book Angel UK. So that's real interesting. Okay.
yeah. So what she's done is put in all like notes for all of the paid listings that we tend to use. And if I scroll down, I mean, the only thing is this scrolls way the hell the fuck down. I swear
That
to
is
God.
yeah.
You know, which is fine. You can reorganize it differently, but then we have paid listings, free listings, bulk submitters.
Why does it say
And
48 cards? So you got paid listing. Is that each one is a card when you scroll
Yeah.
down? Is that what
Yeah,
that,
each one of
got it.
these little doodads right here. See, there's like, if you click on them,
Okay.
those are
Right.
each cards. And so part of the problem is that the thing for you guys is, I don't know if you can see this down to the bottom here, but it's like in the way. There, now if I move that out of the way, I can move around. So, and then we have, as you scroll over, it continues things that we want to do, subscriptions, bulk lists, things for reviews. And that's just the where we go when we're thinking, okay, we want one that accepts pre-orders, and we go in and start looking for those. And then if I go back to, now here's the submissions board. So you can see what we've done in October. And she put everything in from the past as well. I don't know if they're all in here, but, and she's linked our blurbs to this board, and, you know, our monthly schedule and all of that, because you can nest all kinds of crap inside of here. So there's the October, November, December, and whatever. She had put the ones, the far back ones, but you can see what, you know, what we've done for various things. We had, you know, stuff we did in November. So I can go in when she decides, you know, when we decide to put a sale, we put it in here. And then I know that, like for December, what we have, if I have to go in and we, you know, go in and put notes. And if I have to go in and set prices or whatever, because I end up doing that part of it, I can go in and see what, you know, what we've set up, change the prices and all of that.
So you correct, so for like every month, so now you got a January 2023 over there, so you just create a new card and then you write down what you're doing? Okay.
Yep. So you create a new heading and you can move these things around. You know, we've got started, what will end up happening is most likely these will get, these December, you know, October, November, December ones, because I believe October is when she started putting the stuff in. Those will end up being moved over into an unused, you know, over into the right, and then these will move into the place of those, and we'll just keep rotating through. So that's what we're doing. See that, and that board, if you look up here, you can see that that board's nested in the other board. And then if I click on the blurbs link, here are all of the blurbs for all of the books. So if I go into my Everly one,
My goodness, are you organized? I am like,
yeah, no, this is all Erin. Trust me, I didn't do any of this shit. This is Erin. She's ridiculous. So,
Can
and
I
if you
clone
were,
her brain? Holy cow.
oh
I
my
mean,
God.
geez, I know, this is like, this is incredible.
This is why she's been Cindy H.Y. Hannah's virtual assistant, even though she doesn't actually want to be anymore. But she was like, no, you can't leave me. I can't have, nope, nope. So,
She
but
would have been an awesome virtual assistant.
oh, she is an amazing virtual assistant. She just doesn't want to do that anymore. She might take on extra, but I doubt it. Not with the writing. So, but as I'm scrolling through here, I can see with the blurbs, guess what I need to do? Look at these two crappy ones. Clearly, I have two blurbs that suck that I need to go in and fix. And so, you know,
you got a few
putting
more
this
actually.
in here.
If you scroll farther, there's a couple more. So
well, those are shorts, and I don't give a crap about that. They don't.
Okay.
Yeah, those are shorts. I don't care about that. But these two need to have longer form blurbs. So, you know, we have, you know, the covers and the links and all of that stuff right in there. So, but it's really easy in Milanote to do this kind of thing because it's just copy and paste. She just copied and pasted all these in here. So, but as you can see, Ghost Mortem has 3 cards. So the first card is the blurb. The second card is the ASIN, ISBNs, the link. The next one is the cover and the link and whatever. So I don't know what else she's put in there. I just know that I went in here the other day and went, oh shit, apparently I've not done long form blurbs for a couple of things. So now that's something I have to do. But
how do you like when you're doing the promotional count, like when you say you have to change the prices, is there like a check mark or something on so that you know that you actually did it? Okay, so that's
no, I mean, we have a to-do in here. Let me see. I go back to home and go back to submissions. What I do from here, where the hell's the promo thing? Oh, there it is. So what I do from here is, like in November, we set these up. She puts these lists in and I go in and I look at what I have to do throughout the month. Because there's no reminders or checklists in here, I think you can put a checklist, a to-do checklist, and that's fine. I'll have to look at what she's got in there because I haven't looked at that. But that's when I go into my own calendar and I put my reminders. I actually have an Echo Show sitting right next to me, and I just go tell Alexa to remind me on whatever day I need to change pricing. So she reminds me, you know, sometimes 2 days before, and then the day, you know, the day before or whatever. I usually set up recurring things because I tend to shut stuff off and then forget about it. So I make sure that I get multiple reminders, and then once they're done, you know, I stopped them, but I do need to look at what she put in to do now. Oh no, I guess that's not, it's just a thing that you can do. So anyway, and I actually missed one of these. I didn't get it set up in time because I didn't notice it. But that's how we're doing it right now. If we were going to do a great big promo thing where she submits a whole bunch of stuff, then that, you know, the pricing part of it's easy. She would add all of that in here. I don't know. I know that we've done stuff that I don't actually see in here. So no, maybe not. We had that huge promo for, and I don't know where she moved that to. We had that huge promo in October that was all things Balefire. I don't know where the hell that ended up. Probably she deleted it once we were done. But
Did
anyway.
you find it difficult to figure out how this is nested and organized to be able to find things at all, Virginia?
No, I
What's the
actually
learning
don't.
curve like?
But I didn't set it up, so everything I look in here, you know, I've added stuff to it myself. But when I go in, you know, the problem is that Erin and I think a lot alike. She just went ahead and did all the stuff, so I kind of can look and see what she's done, and you know what I get it when she puts the stuff in here, how, you know, her method. So it's just when you're doing it for yourself, you'll know your own method and it won't be weird for you. So, but, you know, she's got stuff fairly well. I just wonder what she did with that promo though, because I'm not seeing that in here. We had a huge amount of stuff on that, and that would have been good to show you. And I don't know if she deleted it. Oh, no, there it is right there. The All Things Balefire. So we had, this is how we set up, which this was a godsend to be quite honest with you. This is how we set up this month-long promo that we did. And it is this many boards. She's got all the graphics, so you can go in and grab the graphics. And then I had a list of, you know, prize details, social posts. She made social posts. All I had to do was copy and paste them, which I did not mind. And then we had it laid out week by week what we were going to do, what the entries were for, you know. And so when I would go in here, week 2, I knew I need to make a unique content item for my newsletter. I knew what was going to be on sale, what we were doing inside the thing, you know. And then she had, we did a casting. We had people vote for what characters, what people they would like to play the characters. And we posted all of this on our website. So they're all nested in that way. You know, we had each character and, you know, 2 or 3 different pictures that they could go in and vote for, which was fun. That promo was huge. I mean, in terms of what we did, I can't say that I think it did a huge amount in terms of sales, but it wasn't actually meant for that. It was more of a newsletter engagement thing to get our readers more engaged. And that really worked. We got, I think it was like close to, I can't remember how many people we had to choose from for the winners, but it was pretty big. So I can look and see what we ended up, but I don't remember. So we, you know, and then even like right down in here where she's got the colors for the various things, she puts those in. We had pre-launch tasks. We had, you know, a whole bunch of lists of stuff. We made coloring pages. So as you know, in the to-do section, we went down through all of these things, and it was all copy and paste right from here, because whatever she set up, she just went in here and went ahead and copied and pasted it in so that I could get to it. So I don't know if that's helpful, but, and I wonder why her plotting, I wonder if there are 45 cards. I could have sworn she had, it may be, okay, so it may be that she's doing her plotting in here. So I don't do this, by the way, I don't go in here for each thing, but for her new series, she's got, you know, her characters, she's got the motives, the research, brainstorming cards, world building, story map, series notes, possible titles, you know, links, you know, the books, and the fact that the character shows up in this Half Seas Over, which is I don't know, maybe that's another one she's doing. I don't know. She's got her color palette that she wants to use for that series in her emails. So I don't know what's on the character map. I haven't looked at all this. You can even do mapping. So she's got, you know, her supporting characters, her antagonists, her primary characters. So there's a wealth of stuff. You can do pretty much everything that you're doing in all of these separate places, all in Milanote.
I'm stuck on the color
Yeah.
map. The color thing.
This here?
Yeah, I'm like to actually think that far ahead to have colors.
Oh, she's ridiculous. This is not something I do, trust me. Although she's making me do a color palette, she coordinates her website colors to her email colors. And so, you know, she puts these in here because if I was going to create a graphic for anything, I could go in and grab these colors as backgrounds or text or whatever it is. And it makes it easier for all of us. I mean, it really does make it easier, but she's done that. That, I don't know what to tell you about that. That's her. She's ridiculously anal, and that's not whatever. But I mean, she's got, you know, profiles. She's got this character is similar to, you know, it takes its inspiration from Mae West. So she's got, you know, backstory, characteristics, quirks and flaws. And also this other person that she, you know, she's gone through her research into people from the past that she's going to kind of blend into this character and things that they did and whatever. So, and then she's got profile ones for, you know, for the various characters. So
That's amazing.
Yeah. So all of the stuff that you were doing everywhere, you can do in here. The only thing that it doesn't do, I don't know what the to-do lists look like. I haven't dragged one over. It doesn't coordinate with your schedule, with your like calendar, but from what I heard, they're working on getting a calendar in here as well. So she said that's the only thing now, because she doesn't like, we use Microsoft To Do for shared tasks. There, let me figure out how to undo this now. What the hell has happened here? Okay, right there. Stop sharing. There we go. All right. So anyway, that gives you an overview of Erin's ridiculous foray into Milanote.
That is, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Really
Oh,
impressive.
I only showed you a little bit of it. I mean, she had to pay for it because she got in there and she's like this, and she's using this plotting that she's doing now, which is good because she and I are totally different in terms of plotting. She's way more analytical, as you can see, and way more organized, as you can see, than I ever will be. And so I'm more of a pantser. She's more of a plotter. So she goes in and takes all of that information, and she's doing expanded outlines now, so that she has 1,000 words or so
Jen is
in
on
each
board with that.
chapter ahead of time. You know?
I've come out with about 10,000 before I even start. I hope.
Yep.
10,000 is what my plot looks like.
So do you put them, what do you use to write? Do you use Scrivener or no?
Word.
Okay. So because we're also, Scrivener is I love Scrivener. I don't think I could write without it anymore. We do the binder with each, you know, she does the binder, all the different chapters, and she puts her expanded outline in the chapter. So when she starts the book, she's already 10,000 words into it, and she just takes that outline and expands it. So she said, I can take the,
that's
you know, the
exactly what I do.
pieces of it. Yep. But it's so much easier to do in Scrivener. So
I love
that's
Really? I just do mine. I have Word, and I mean, like I have a preset template, of course, and I just do chapter 1, chapter 2, and I just go in and fill it. So I've never looked at Scrivener or anything like that.
Do you have like one chapter per document, or do you put them all together in one big? Because the problem I found with Word is the bigger it gets, the more unwieldy it gets. That's why I like Scrivener too. You have like, do you do one chapter and per document, or do you put all of it in one? Like, how do you save your documents?
I have the book, like I've got what is it down here right now? I'm working on Deadly Focus, and Deadly Focus has 22 chapters. So each, I mean, you know.
Okay, so you do have
just-
you put all the chapters in one book, so you don't save you don't save chapters, like you don't have Deadly Secrets chapter 1 to okay.
Yeah.
That's what I like about
No.
Scrivener, because I don't number my chapters at all, because I tend to switch things around a bit. I sort of start out with a scene list rather than a chapter list. It's like, I know I have to have this and this and this and this, and then I fill in around it. And I might write all those scenes first and then fill in the pieces around it. So having it in Scrivener means I can move things around.
Yeah, I've
I
done
can
that
add a
too.
chapter, I can move things around, because I don't write linearly like a lot of people do. I don't start at chapter 1 and write my way through. Sometimes I actually, the last book I wrote the end chapter before I wrote anything else, because I knew how it needed to end. This was the end of a 3-book
Yeah.
arc, and I knew how that fucker needed to end. You know, this is where it ends, and I'm done with that arc. So I wrote the end chapter. It's like there. I will not be tempted to screw with that, because I have a tendency to tangent, take off on it.
I think
So anyway.
the person who did the Twilight series, what's her name, Stephanie Myers, the first book, she started in the middle and wrote the end, and then she went to the beginning and wrote to the middle. So that's how she wrote it too. So she saw the end of the book. She didn't see the beginning.
Well, if I get stuck on a chapter, I'll just say, screw it, because I want my words for the day. I'll just go right in another chapter, because I already know, you know, this scene has to be there. It's not dependent on that scene. It's not, you know, so I can go in and I do the transitions at the end. So I'll just do the scene and the scene and the scene, and then I'll go in back and write, you know, the ending of this one, how it leads into the next, and, you know, do my transitions at the end. And I usually end up adding quite a bit that way, but so we're all different. You got to do what you do. You know.
On a completely selfish note, I have to say I'm really happy we're recording this, because I'm going to go back and pause and see what you've got on your board for places to do different promotions, because like, ooh, I don't know that one. Ooh, I've never heard of that. So yeah.
I can share that list if you want. We have it, I think, she took that list out of a spreadsheet that we have. I can share the spreadsheet if you want it.
Oh, I'd love that. Can you drop it in the Facebook group?
Yeah, I can. I will.
Or,
and
yeah,
I
Google
will.
Docs or whatever.
Yep, I will. I'll drop yeah. And I'll have to go in and make sure that I've cleaned out, just saved just the one page with the list, because all of that stuff, there's a whole bunch of our promo in there. We do every year, we kind of add another page, and we were, until she decided she hates spreadsheets. So now we're switching over to Milanote. And that's fine. I don't care where it is, as long as I can get at it. What she does. But she's ridiculous, and what I would like to say to her is, all the time that you took in the last 3 months fucking around with Milanote is the time that you're complaining that you didn't write on your books. But if I say that to her, I'll probably I have to live with this kid, so I probably I want to, I really do. Probably won't. But anyways, so if you don't want to buy a whole bunch of different stuff, you can just do Milanote and do it all in there if you want to. I mean, it does almost everything except for, wash the dishes for you and remind you to do shit.
Mm-hmm. And you only get 100 notes the whole time? Is that it?
Oh, no,
Unless
no,
you buy
no. Unless you pay. She pays, I think, $12 a month or whatever, because
I saw
she's
$9.99.
enamored of the thing. She has got, for all of those ones that I just showed you that are shared, she has probably 10 or 12 more that are not shared, that she's doing for personal things, side projects, whatever.
But for you do the free. So do you only get 100 notes?
Well, if anybody signs up under me, they'll add on that referral link, they'll add a few notes for me. But yeah, I don't know how many I have actually. I have 180, 160 right now. So, and I've only created 12 notes on that entire thing. So whatever. But you can have unlimited space if you upgrade. But I didn't see the point, because I can add 106 things to hers.
Yeah.
And she's already done everything for all of my stuff too. She's added all of my stuff in because she took everything that was in. So we have a shared, which is also uber organized. We have a shared work folder on Dropbox, and she took everything from that and just dumped it into Milanote in different places, copy and pasted, bits and pieces from it. So, we have certain things that are still only in the Dropbox folder, and a lot of stuff she's moved over. I haven't even looked. That's the first time some of that stuff I've even looked at the pages, because whatever. Like, that's too much for me. But you can do all that there. You can, and you can share it with other people. And if you do unlimited, she must have, I can't even begin to imagine how many damn notes she has, because all of that is in her, all of the stuff I showed you is far more than 160, you know, cards or notes or whatever the hell it is. And I've done 12 of it. So if I do put a note in her board, it does count if I generate the note, but if I add on to her notes that she's already put in there, it doesn't cost me anything. It doesn't cost me a note. It's weird. I don't even pay any attention to it because I do not see myself. I don't have to because she does it for me. So that's nice. Whatever.
So I had something else I'd like to bring up, but I'd like to stop recording, if that's okay with people.
Sure.
Let's see if I can kill this.
So for my last book bug was on the box set of the first 3 books of my Everly series. And it was, I got the whole shebang for once instead of just the international. And we were running ads on that. Now I haven't been running ads on the wide series too much on Amazon because I don't seem to get any response from them, and that's fine, I don't care. So that, the tail on that, because we were running ads and upped our ads, has been since August. We're still seeing tail on that. And that's not usual for me. So I was talking to someone the other day and they were saying how AMS is really good for maintaining momentum or for even slightly increasing momentum, but it will not bring you from nothing up. It will not, it's good for momentum, but it's not good for lift. And I thought, for fuck's sake, this is why every time I have a book bug, for the ads, the only ads that I have for the stuff that's wide is my branding ad. So that has all of the books, all of the Erin's name, my name, all of the name related, title related, series related, all of that crap. And the books are in that. And those went nuts. And I'm thinking, that's just weird. I didn't see as much maintenance with that. And I think that's the KU factor. So so Erin and I were discussing that. And I'm like, well, so what would you need to do? If you could generate that without a BookBub ad, what would you need to do? And I'm starting to think about the fact that if you had, let's just say, 6 or 7 authors who all thought that if we could generate a decent number of sales, and it's quite a few sales because I just tested it, generated, and it has to be sales, not reads, because they don't count that. That's the thing that I think for relevancy, I don't think AMS counts the KU reads. I think they only look at sales when they're discussing relevancy. Specifically, if you're relevant to, if you're advertised, let's say I'm going to target Jenna, which I hadn't been doing apparently, and that was stupid because it should have been. So I added Jenna recently, and we actually have a lot of readers in common. So when I added you, I saw a fairly decent, fairly decent results, and I thought, well, that was dumb, but why didn't I do this before? But anyways, so if you were to do a big push at the same time I did a big push, and we cross-promoted to our newsletters and made sure that the people who bought your book bought my book, while we were advertising on AMS, getting a bunch of sales that are relevant to each other. If a bunch of people got together and did that, I think we would all see our AMS lift those books really well. And because it's sort of a reverse engineering of what happened with the BookBub, where I generated momentum for that book, for that actual series from outside using a BookBub, but the AMS picked up and just kept pushing it nicely. So I wondered if that might be something that some of us, that if you found people who had similar books, if you, in the cross promo with that specific piece in mind, because a lot of times you cross promo with people and you think, well, I just want to get some sales and whatever. But this would be a specific reason, and try to generate a certain number of 99-cent sales that are relevant to the people that you're advertising, on, or the names. So I thought that might be interesting. It might be a fun experiment.
You posted about that in the Facebook group, and I went back and looked at my last 30 days and some of the promos I've had, and it was a very clear,
I
don't want to say coincidence, but
no, you can see cause and effect.
Here would be
Yeah.
my promo. And then as soon as the promo started to end, my Amazon ad for that particular book would start to uptick. And it did it. I just looked at November after you had
Mhm.
posted that. So for like 3 weeks. And every single book I promoted had a huge upswing as the promo was ending. So
Yep.
it really, I mean, it's 3 weeks worth of data. But I've been meaning
Right.
to post that in the book because I looked at it a couple days or in the Facebook group. Like, I really think that's not a coincidence. I think
No, I
it
think
makes total sense. It makes sense.
it was like just one of those little keys that turned in my head when somebody said that, and I went, oh, that would be why every time I have a book club, my ads go nuts
Mhm.
and whatever. But I haven't capitalized on it, which, you know, knowing that that's happening, there are a lot of things you can do, tweaking and bidding and all of that stuff. You know, that's not a bad idea. And maybe looking at who else is advertising that week or whatever, or releasing. So I think it's interesting. It would be an interesting experiment to get maybe 5 or 6 people, 4 or 5 people, it doesn't really matter, together and try to generate through cross promo, through at the same time, to generate not only that connection, generate enough sales to actually see what happens, cross promo and newsletter promo at the same time. Just do a big push all at once, but also between each other, bid up on your ads for those particular people who are doing the same thing that you're doing, and see if we can lift everybody up at the same time. I thought it would be a fun experiment, and I think we should give it a shot.
I think so
You know.
too. I think the only thing is we might have to break it between paranormal and non-paranormal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I have seen Carolyn, I have seen your stuff show up on my AMS, and even you, Karen, with your baking one. Not so much you, Lainey, but especially, but yeah, like the non-paranormal. I think if we split it non-paranormal and paranormal. Karen, you can do both. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's but yeah, I
Now-
haven't seen the paranormal stuff show up on mine.
To that end, I also we repriced, because I have one series that's not paranormal, and we but it's weird, and the people who like it love it, the people who don't like it don't, and that's fine. I don't care. But so we had just a little 99-cent promo that ended yesterday for the second book in the series, and we emailed our news. We ran some free booksy and that type of thing, and I emailed my newsletter and said, you can get both the first 2 books for 99 cents right now, because the first one is free. And then because I have new people on the list, try to generate some sales. And I will tell you that we did not generate enough to actually see anything pick up and run, but we did, I can see some. So I turned on, because once we started, I turned on an old ad that I had for that series that I had shut off because it hadn't done anything, and managed to get, and I didn't turn it on the first day either. So I managed to, but I think I shut it off. So now I can't tell you. Hang on, I gotta shut that off. I think we generated like 60,000 impressions over a couple of days,
Wow.
but it wasn't enough. The sales of the other book were not enough, of the 99-cent were not enough to actually push it very far. And that's fine. It gives me data that, just a free booksy on the free book isn't enough to push the second book in the series, and so, yeah, we had a pretty decent number of, on the ad that didn't do well, we had 13,587 impressions over 3 days and 31 clicks, and we moved 6 free books. So that was not enough, though, to move any paid books. And so I can't remember, and I don't think we moved that many, because we didn't push the 99-cent book, we pushed the free one. So that was a mistake. But I just thought I would check, I throw the ad up and see what happens, just for that data point. But I think it would be an interesting data point to see what would happen if a few of us got together and, cross promoted a 99-cent book while we were all advertising it outside, to see what it does for our AMS. Maybe even boost it up a little bit with Facebook ads, which I didn't actually do on that one. But I do have a Facebook ad on the Everly one. So anyway, that's my advertising AMS revelation. But it also means that I've shut off, because I can see that that's the case, I've shut off my AMS ads, and I already had most of them off anyways, to anything. And I'm not turning on another ad for anything that I'm not promoting, that's not our, the 2 series that we're in KU with. but anything that's wide, I'm not going to turn the ads back on unless I'm actually promoting it. And unless I'm comfortable enough with the promotion that I'm doing, getting enough sales to tick the relevancy box, because relevancy is the key thing with AMS that's really hard. And the only way that you're going to get it is by enough sales, because they don't count KU reads. And so, and it needs to be relevant. And if you've got this ad with, 1,000 freaking keywords in it, you can't be relevant to all of those at once. So if I was going to do this, I would start a new ad that was only targeting those particular authors that I was working with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And see what happens. I think it would be interesting data regardless of anything else. And I think it would be fun to do. And if we all kind of pushed it, at the same time all together, I think it would be fun. So.
Do you think pushing it
so.
with
I'm always game for that.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
Jenna, you've got a non-paranormal too. I forgot. So
I got it.
Yeah.
I got a couple. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be fun
But
to try.
I don't make money. I mean, I make money in them, but not like my paranormals. Yeah.
even your Riley one.
My bread and butter has been I mean, this last year,
Bread and butter is paranormal.
I was telling my hairdresser yesterday, I said, I don't understand what happened. I don't understand. Come May, I doubled my income every month, have doubled my income I mean, I really will hit 6 figures this year. If the December doesn't totally screw up, I will have made $100,000 and I have no idea how I did it. No idea. But my paranormals took off, and I seriously mean that. I don't know, because I don't know how to advertise. I just don't know. And so I'm sure I'm totally screwing myself up by that. But yeah, in May, something happened, and I just started making money, and thank God. I mean, I'm so happy. I just wish I knew so I could tell you guys, oh, this is what I did.
It's
I don't
probably just
know.
the books took off. I mean, that's the thing. Even we don't
Momentum.
know. Yeah, it is awesome.
And I have a lot.
We never know what book is going to hit with the marketplace and what book isn't. So obviously, whatever series the series just really resonated with the marketplace. So, which was great.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm game to try anything, because I'm like, I mean, now I'm just like, I'm having fun, but I don't know what to do to make that next level, because I have ideas, but I don't always know how to implement them. So yeah, I mean, I would love to do something like that, just to try anything.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to see what happens anyways. And maybe it will give us some insight into how the AMS actually works in terms of their, I mean, if you can be relevant, really relevant for the keywords that you're targeting, which would be the author names. I don't get as much off of subtitles and book titles as I do off of author names. And it's kind of funny because because I keep them separate in my ads, I can tell, like, at one point titles were giving me more KU reads and author names were giving me sales, which I thought was interesting. I don't really know why that would be, but it's probably something in whatever they're doing. But I think it would be fun to see, if we could all sort of just lift each other up and push a series. I think we could. I really do think it would work.
I think it would work too. I found author names work better too, and exact and phrase. Broad doesn't seem to work. But then once I figure out which one it is, if I switch it to exact, and sometimes I'm spending less money on the exact, which I thought was the exact opposite of what was going on. So I agree.
Because the whole thing is, when you come in with a new ad, you get that honeymoon period for the first couple of weeks where they're just testing to see if you're relevant for the keywords that you've chosen. And then once that kicks in, and the ad either does well, or there are too many keywords. We've kind of cut ours back a lot, but there's, trying to figure out the relevancy piece of it. Because I think that's key to what I think some people luck into that accidentally, and then their ads do really well. And then they're telling you, we'll do this and do that. But that piece that they're not understanding with the relevancy is where it kicked. And it's not anything that they're doing so much as just something that Amazon picked up on, and they're not doing it intentionally. So sometimes these are accidental things. I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to try to engineer it on purpose for once.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm kind of trying that this month. I've got my Magical Misfit series, which is the one with the cat on the covers. It's doing okay, but it's not really taken off how I hoped. And I'm wondering, in particular, my Amazon ads, they haven't, whatever I try, whether it's category, keyword, auto, all of them I've tried, Amazon will not pick up that ad, that series, and promote it. So I'm getting really low impressions. I can bid super high, doesn't take the ads, will not show them. I've even tried niching down to specific authors who write witch cat cozies, won't show them. So next week I'm doing a free run on book 1, book 2 and 3 are priced at 99, and I've booked a load of promo sites, and I'm also running BookBub ads, and I will see off the back of that if I shift enough of the 99-cent books, if that will then create an uplift in my Amazon ads that are currently running. So that's sort of like a mini experiment, a bit like you're talking about, Regina, of sort of doing this bolster to try and get Amazon to go, oh, that's actually a relevant series. We'll start showing it to the keywords and that kind of thing. And I think there's a lot behind what you've just said. If Amazon don't like your series or your books, or there's something they can't figure out, the bots can't figure out with the keywords, they won't show it. You can bid whatever you like. They're not going to.
And some of that comes in with, you know, everybody's like, oh, I should bid for Amanda Lee. Well, that's fine, but you're not going to be relevant for Amanda Lee unless you're selling a lot. So don't do that on a new series. Don't do that on a book that's not selling well. You know, and so I feel like you have to find the people that are just, it's almost like chasing the people that are just ahead of you and using that to get further, you know, forward. Because if you target people that are their readers have to buy your books. And if Amanda Lee is selling 1,000 copies of something that her readers read only 45 of mine, I'm not going to be relevant. 45 to 1,000 isn't relevant. But if I were to target someone else who's only selling 45 copies, and then I sell 45 copies, then we're very relevant with each other. And that works really well. And it's easy to jump over people who sell a lot less than you do, but you also hit that reverse point where you're the one selling way more and they're not going to be relevant. So that keyword is useless as well. So I feel like when people are talking about, you know, the things in your also bots and the books that are relevant to you, and that's all fine. I've struggled with targeting books. I've struggled with the ASIN ads, and I've struggled with the category ads. I started one a couple of weeks ago that just didn't go anywhere. So I think it's kind of interesting to see how to reverse engineer that, you know, and I think we can. I just think that I never looked at it in that way before, because it didn't trip to me that first off, they don't necessarily lift a dead series, which all of us have seen, that it's really hard to lift a dead series in AMS. And you can waste a lot of money trying, but also that whole relevancy factor of how many you're selling, how many they're selling, how many people in common buy that book. And if you can cross promote with that person, you know, with that, within that little group, and everybody's kind of relevant, that should work really well. It can't hurt.
No, I know. I mean, oddly enough, you know, another author who's really hot for me is, of all people, Tanya. So I don't know. She would be willing to be a part of this or not. But anyways, I'm kind of afraid if she knew I was bidding on her.
You want to do something with Tanya, you're on your own.
I know, that's the thing. I'm afraid if she knew I was bidding on her name, she might block me.
I'm not selling my soul to that devil. I don't give a crap. So you're on your own.
Thinking of the visual of Nancy Kerrigan getting whacked in the knee.
I know. I'm like,
no.
Yeah, I don't use it in the author community for a lot of reasons.
Nope.
Just saying.
But I am targeting her on it, my AMS ad. So just quietly targeting her because it works.
Other than that, I wouldn't. You do anything you want with her. You're on your own. But I'd say something, but it's recorded. So
I can pause it if you want.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
But I think we all know.
Nope. Not gonna.
No.
Not gonna.
Bless her heart.
I could post a picture of the doll. I probably already did post a picture of the doll I found in an antiques place that reminded me of her.
I don't think I've seen that.
Okay, well, I will
curious.
Find it and post it. With nothing said, and then you can enjoy it all. Anyway, I don't like her. That's just the way it is.
You know, but that's one
And
thing
I would say that to
appreciate
her, by
about-
the way. I would say that right to her. Anything, if you know me, you know that. So
That's one thing I appreciate about you. You know, Michelle and I were living in fear. It's like, oh my gosh, what if Regina thinks we're total losers? We had that whole
Nah.
conversation earlier this week. So
you really have to work at it to piss me off. She did.
really, okay,
Yeah.
I
You
will.
have to work at it to piss me off to the level that she did, and she did. So
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't like her, but whatever.
We've all had our history with people, haven't we?
Yep. But mostly, I'm not. You know, I do rant once in a while, but it's fleeting. And I didn't rant on Poirot as much as I wanted to.
I know you were holding back.
Mhm. I definitely was, because I love Kenneth Branagh's movies, though. I'm not going to disparage the guy. He makes visually stunning films. It's just the content of the Death on the Nile. Somebody should have slapped him for that shit.
And
Okay,
what do
it's
you
gotta be
think of the
right in this area.
mustache?
The mustache was bad enough. The soul patch was just like, wait, oh, what the fuck were you thinking in Orient Express with that? You're not Poirot. I know he did it because he wanted. I get he wanted to, but sorry, dude, ain't gonna happen. There, I posted it. Anyway, so no, I didn't rant that much, and I actually am surprised that I didn't come back and rant at the person who bitched at me for one of my characters parking in a handicap spot that I made light of something that's illegal, and then go ahead and post a clip from my book that actually is illegal. And I did not point that out, so I'm definitely considering myself
Major
a
points for
better
that.
person for it.
Major karma.
Did they get away with this? This
Yeah,
time,
they-
Isn't that hilarious, though?
I'm in bread. I can't get past the
Are you
piece.
in bread? What?
I'm in bread.
No, she's looking at the picture.
Oh, of
I
can't see.
honest to God, wish
I
I
know,
had
that
shelled
picture
out
is
the $100
something.
for that damn doll, but the $14.95 price tag that's hanging down over her was not the actual price tag. It's the one over on the side, and they wanted over $100 for it. And I really wanted to, but I didn't think $105 was something that I should
oh,
spend.
Taylor Trash Barbie.
Oh, I see. It's 105. Yeah.
Hilarious though.
So, oh,
It wasn't there when I went back to that, because I probably, if it had been there, I would have bought it the second time. But I thought that was hilarious. It's like, where did that come up with? Who came up with that? Arsenic and apple pie on the bottom. It's just freaking, oh my God, it's hilarious. Anyway, and the pig under her arm.
Oh yeah.
I really wish I'd
Oh,
bought it. I really wish I'd bought it.
That's funny.
it come to, but maybe Carolyn and Carrie wouldn't be interested in being part of us.
Well,
We're the fun group.
My daddy says I'm the best kisser in the
Yeah,
I
county.
know it. Isn't that awesome? Oh my God, I do. That is one thing I do regret not having bought when I saw it, because I probably should have, but it's like, no, I can't. That's just dumb to spend $100 on that. So I took a picture, called it good. But
Well, I have to tell you one time, my ex-husband, the preacher, we were in West Virginia and we were going to Florida. We were pastoring in Ohio, I think at that time, or Pennsylvania, one of them. Anyway, we had to go through West Virginia. And
Virginia.
we were at like a McDonald's or something and drive through, and I had yelled over his shoulder, what I wanted in the little speaker thing. And we were just we always, but fun bickered. I never argued with my ex-husband, believe it or not. I think we had 3 arguments in the 14 years we were married, but we were just kind of bickering, and we get up to the little counter and we're still at each other. And the lady taking our change was like, everything okay, and without missing a beat, Jeff turns around and goes, I'd divorce her, but Dad said she'd still be my sister. And I was like,
That's awesome. Lena, you're muted.
sorry. I was gonna say that's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time, and I'm gonna be telling this story the next Christmas
Love
party
it.
I go to.
That's going in a book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know that was too funny. I was like,
Ooh.
"Ah."
No.
And there
Now
goes
I think I
nothing.
may have to put, because I'm writing the Mag and Clara book right now, and they run an antiques place. So I'm thinking Trailer Trash Barbie's going to show up in that antique store.
That would be awesome.
Yep, I think that has to. Also, somebody posted, I don't know who it was, but somebody on my friends list posted a picture of pot handle cozies that look like penises, and that ended up in my last book because I thought I was going to die when I saw them. So I had somebody put them in the craft store in the town that just opened up, and then of course the older woman that kind of runs the town saw them and told Everly she had to do something about it. So Everly's like, do something about the scandal, and she goes into the craft store and with her friend and sees them, and they're just dying, and the lady at the craft store doesn't see it, and she's like, well, they just sell so well and people take selfies in front of them and everything. I had some fun with that, and then everybody that she talked to after was like, no, I'm not going to knit wiener cozies or whatever it was. So I had some fun with that one. That was like the only, I think, funny thing in the entire book. I wasn't feeling funny this one, but yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Has everyone planned their 2023 out already?
I know what I'm writing. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, 3 of them. I know 3 that I will finish. The other 2 are dependent on if I actually get them done or not. I'm not counting on it.
Jenna, are you gonna try for a book a month again?
Oh yeah. But I'm waiting to do most of my stuff until Maddie leaves next week, and then James and I are going to try, and we've been up and down about where we're going to go for Christmas because it's just the 2 of us. Mom's not here, Maddie won't be here, so we were going to go, but Brownie being 14, you know, even just a short ways in a car with a 14-year-old dog, we were a little nervous, so we might just stick around. There's a really pretty spa not too far from us where if we had to come back and forth, it's only 20 minutes away, we could do something like that, you know. But we were going to decide then kind of what our outlook for next year looks like, because I really want James to kind of help me a little more in the business, and that's another thing, you know, like with talking about leveling up, there are so many things he's really good at that I think he could help me. And if he's not going to have, we thought he wasn't going to have a job come February, but I haven't told you guys. Quickly, I'll just say, you know, he's very tight with his best friend, Dave, who he does all the diving with, who has this pilot's license and who was in the process of getting not just he already has a small, but for his commercial license for piloting. On that Sunday of Thanksgiving, we got a phone call and Dave crashed his plane while he was still on the runway. What ended up happening was, come to find out, he had a brain tumor. And so he, in his head, Dave thought he had called Tower and they said everything was fine, you know, you're clear for go. And he just went, and the next thing he knows, he's being cut out of the plane. But what ended up actually happening was he had called in and to say he was clear, you know, and they said his speech sounded really bad. And so they were trying to get him back and he wasn't responding and he was just sitting on the tarmac. And then they even called his personal phone and he wasn't picking up. And then suddenly he just goes. Well, they realized after all of course, the plane is gone and he was in the hospital and they found that he has a brain tumor. So they're going to do surgery hopefully in December, like the 17th, I think James said. So I'm not sure what's going to happen as far as he can't drive for 6 months. So I don't know what the hell's going on, which, I mean, I'm so sorry for Dave. I really am. But I'm like, maybe this means, you know, for sure you're going to have to find something else to do. And I would love for that to help me a little bit. So we're going to, over Christmas, talk about where I kind of think things can go for us. I'm definitely going to do a book a month. I I'd kind of like to, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do another crossover. I'd love to do another crossover with the Witch in the Woods with my Zoe character. We'll just kind of have to see. It'd be kind of towards the end of the year for that timeline to work out, but in my other books, but definitely keeping on with the Witch in the Woods and the Carrie Hilder, because, you know, those are really good sellers and stuff. So, but I would love to do
Author this
another.
year, six-figure
Huh?
author.
Right.
But I
Oh,
am going to
Jenna.
tell you that book a month is really, it is really hard. I mean, it really is. I'm tired a lot. I will say, for me, it's a lot. It's hard, but so if I could have someone take over some of that stuff like he could do, that would really help a lot. But I'll know more after Christmas, Lena, how my next year will go. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do some planning too. I haven't done that now that I got water and looking at. Yeah, I need to get some better stuff. I think we're going to go to Wisconsin over Christmas, which is going to put a dent in my productivity. But seeing family is important too.
Because like you said, life is short.
Life is short. Yeah. And there's only, you know, my dad is getting up there, and I mean, he's in great health. You know, he's like 78 or something. He's in great health. He's doing great. He sold his Madison house, which is a little weird for me. He's going to be he's building a house near his girlfriend in the same town he grew up in, a condo, standalone condo. So, but you know, that's the thing. He's doing great, but you know, you only have so many years left. You know, there's only so many times I'm going to see him. So,
Karen, have you planned out your next year?
Only in my head. I've only got one active series, so that's my Misfit series. I'm just finishing up the second 3-book arc. That'll be out. That'll be out end of January. And then I'll do 3 more in that series. But if I can't get it to take off via ads, I'll wind it up after 9 books. So I sort of do 3 books and have a big arc and a mystery in each, and then resolve that arc, and then go on and do the following in the next 3. So that would take me through to April time. I'm working on my German translations for my Holly series, so that will take up quite a bit of time next year. I've got the first 3 translations booked in for the beginning of February, March and April. So that will be quite involved in doing the marketing, getting everything lined up for that. So that'll probably be my beginning of year through to May time sorted. And then after that, I've got other ideas on the back of my head that I might start, but nothing's set in stone yet. So yeah, that's as far as I've planned out so far.
Oh, I actually
did I tell you guys? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Karen was talking about, I might be doing this, I might be doing that. I have my next year planned, but what I do is I'm a big spreadsheet person, but it's got columns that are called pivot columns for me, which means if something happens where this takes off, or if, you know, the market changes, or I get some idea, every month has where, you know, are basically an off ramp to, you know, do I want to do this instead?
No.
So I've made it kind of flexible by having those columns that say it's okay to pivot if this, you're not locked into forever, you know, your plan, because my brain isn't smart enough to do that apparently. So. Sorry,
I'm
Jenna, what
going
were you
to
saying,
see I'm going to go see my fallen angel in my new Carrie Hilder series. He's a fallen angel and she's a Valkyrie. And so I don't know if I told you guys this, but in April, at the end of April, Mom and my sister and I are flying to New Jersey to go see Lucifer, the cast of Lucifer. My mother is a huge Tom Ellis fan, and he was going to be in Paris and another place in England over there, and we thought we were going to have to go there, and we were like, but then damn it, he's coming to America. So we're going all out. We got the gold ticket passes. I mean, you know, we are doing my mom up good, and she is so freaking excited. So I get to go see my fallen angel in April, and so hopefully I can get some, some good stuff there to use. But we're very excited about that. So I'm looking forward to really seeing my mom's reaction because she's so excited. I just wish we would have went over to Paris or England or something, but
Yeah, New Jersey.
Yeah,
Jersey, I know, Jersey.
a writer retreat, either Belize, which was lovely, or let's all go to Karen's place.
Yeah, Karen, you don't know what you're opening yourself up to. We might just all show up.
I'm moving in January, so you don't know where I am.
Find a new spot for you?
I'm moving up to York.
Oh, are you?
January.
Gotta go
I'm sure
north.
I've told you all that I've got a house. I'm basically being a house guardian for a year. There's a couple traveling around Australia for a whole year from January, and so I'm moving into their house and looking after it while they're away. Oh yes.
Do they have a furry?
No furries, no, just the house.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
What are you going to do with a year without furries? That's not going to be fun.
Yeah, I'll have to adopt a local cat or do something because, yeah, I'll miss the fur balls. There's a new kitten on the block around here, and it's completely realised that me and my mum are suckers for cats, and it just keeps sneaking in all the time. It waits by the back door. When mum opens it, she feeds the local foxes, chucks out whatever food she's giving them, and he comes in and he just hangs out for a couple of hours. So, yeah, it's nice. It'd
Do
be
you
nice
guys have shelters? Do you have
Yeah,
shelters that you can volunteer
shelter.
at?
Yeah,
Go,
yeah.
because my friend, for the longest time, her husband was allergic. Now he's not, and I don't know what the health deal with that is, whatever. They have 3 cats now, or 2 cats now, I don't know. And he's always been allergic, but now suddenly he's not. Before she could have a cat, she used to go and volunteer at all the shelters and pet the cats. Just sit and cuddle them. She said that was the best thing. She's, and she's retired now, so she keeps doing it. And that's how they keep getting cats, I believe.
Well, ladies, we've been going for almost 2 hours. Do you have anything else you'd like to bring up?
Maybe this isn't for this session because it is a long one. I need to go and have my dinner. But our blog, we're not really making the most of it. And I don't know if there's any answers to that yet, or whether we just want to think about, do we want to keep it going? If so, sort of need to make more use of it. I think Bonnie's posted on it. She did that good Halloween post, and I go on there now and again and put some stuff up, but it's a bit of a wasted opportunity. And if we're not using it, Lana, you've set that up, and I think you're paying for some of the hosting and things, or your husband's helping out on that side of things with maintaining the site. So if we're not going to use it, we may as well get rid of it. So just something to think about, really. What do we
I'm
do
glad
with
you
it?
brought it up. It was something I was going to bring up at some point. So maybe this is something we can think about and talk about for the end of the year. I think we need to redo how we do the group, because we've done it the same way for so long. It's kind of stale. Like, everyone knows what to expect every week. But also probably get some of the authors that are in the group but not in our Facebook mastermind onto the website, because it's still, I check it every once in a while, and I've been just as guilty because after spraying with my dad and everything, it just kind of fell off my radar. We still get good traffic. So like when Bonnie posted that, we got a few hundred page views. People are still going to it. So I think what we really want to do with the entire Sleuthing Women Facebook group and website is something we could think about now, and maybe reconvene at our next meeting about it. Because I also don't think we're probably capitalizing the Facebook group that much. And we've got, 3,000 plus readers that will read anything any of us put out there, but we need to get new readers, and we need to mix it up a little bit. And I'm not sure what that looks like. It's just been on my radar to bring up. So I'm glad you brought it up, Karen.
I can tell you that I'm guilty of not posting and not doing takeovers and not even posting new releases in there, because I'm not doing it anywhere. It's not specific to that group.
Right.
It's just, I'm not doing it anywhere. And it was the thing that gave, you know what I mean? I mean, the pile got too high and something had to give. And that was kind of what it was. I've barely post on Facebook at all.
Well,
Now,
if it winds up,
it's technically my group, and I haven't posted my new release from this weekend. I just, because those Facebook groups are the things that kind of fall by the wayside. But when we do things, we get great engagement. So I think we just need to figure out, and I don't think everyone needs to post on it every time. And I think we've got authors that aren't in our mastermind group, like Patty and Lynn, and Lori Hudson, that would love to do more and would love to post on the website. It's just, we had kind of talked about it, and then we kind of went off everyone's radar.
I think a lot of us feel, at least we've talked about a lot of us feeling like this year has been kind of the year to bring things back up for some of us that are kind of getting our feet back under us, trying to get some traction. I have to admit, I'm one of the people, I haven't been as active in there as I should have been. For the sleuthing group, though, also, if Carolyn Aspenson winds up in Kraken's, I mean, that'd be another way for us just to make sure that we've got great communication there and really work the blog, work the, Facebook group, the whole thing. So I'll go ahead and I have a takeover week coming up. I think it's next week. And I'll go ahead and check and sign up for future ones too on that. And
Yeah, actually, Lori Hudson or someone, because Claire hadn't got around to posting it for me, put up next year's sign-up sheet, which is what made me think, like, do we want to keep doing it the same way we've been doing it? And I've been thinking about it for a month, and I keep forgetting to say something. So again,
I'd like to do something better than a week too. I mean, maybe a day. Because the thing is, I always think, like with me, I would think about posting, and I think, oh, wait a second, I can't post because I don't want to step on somebody's week. So then I'd go and try and figure out if somebody's actually doing their takeover or not. So maybe, maybe it's not a whole week. Maybe it's just a day. I don't know. So
I can't do a week. I can't. Drives me crazy to even try to think about that much content. And also, I don't like people, and I don't want to talk to.
yeah, I mean, I would rather just do like a half.
Just being honest.
Yeah, I'm terrible at posting too, but it has been helping me getting involved in this stuff. So maybe, like a 2-hour or half day, or just, we just take a day and then we can divide it up however we want. That would feel more easier for me too than thinking, oh gosh, I got to think of, posts every day, and I got to post, and that way.
And I will tell you, with you guys know I'm in that witch group. I have the group, the Witch in Time Girls, and we have a Facebook page or whatever. And Ava has dropped off, Kizzy dropped off, and Mona or Katie Mona, however you know her, dropped off like at the same time, never said anything to any of us. And so it is me trying to fill in 7 days, and Stephanie has a day, and Stephanie still does her day. But I am trying, because I do not want that to go, by the wayside. But it's everything I can do just to remember, which it's today, Friday. I know Stephanie is today, so it won't be a big deal, but I'm now doing like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, trying to keep that so I don't have to close it. But I'm drowning in there, because I noticed engagement in that witch group has been lacking a lot. So I don't know what we're going to do in there, but I don't want to lose those people either. So I'm just scrambling to try and keep reader engagement in that group. So that's kind of where my focus is right now.
no, and I think that's fine. I mean, I really think there's enough of us in the Sleuthing Women author group to make it easy for all of us. I just think it needs to be retooled. And one thing Claire and I talked about, and kind of on the same track Michelle did, is, maybe we take it down to each week takeover is like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then we have Tuesday and Thursday, something else. I do have daily memes that are posted, and maybe be more concentrated and just do memes on those days, so that there's something in the group every day, but it's not coming from an author. it just can't be a free-for-all post your shit when you want to, because it's about engagement. Like the books is a icing on the cake. So we just need to think about what I do. Like the idea of going down to less days.
You could do one post out of the 3 days, like an Ask Me Anything, and just, you know, head that up and put the list of authors and what would you want to ask, name the author and ask your question and see what, you know, that might help. Because people like to ask questions, readers like to ask questions, and they will not stop. Anyway.
I've seen that you've been doing those posts in there. I try to when I come scroll through my stuff, I do try to answer a little bit, but I did see you're doing a lot of those memes on top of like Gretchen's week this week.
Right.
Lena.
I just wanted to see like what the people would engage with. Because again, we're kind of thinking maybe things are getting a little stale, and yeah, I just know there's a lot of value in the group. We just need to figure out what we can manage and what they want. And same thing with the website.
I think it's worth asking the readers what they want.
That's a good idea. No.
Put up a poll and ask them, you know, ask them what they'd like to see in here. It might help, you know, to cut out the extraneous crap. I don't even post in my own group, so it's not like I'm ignoring these things. You know, I don't even post in my own group.
You know what's funny? I'm a sporadic poster, but last weekend when I was in New York, Claire and I came up with an idea, kind of like a Where is Waldo? And I took a picture every day and posted it on Instagram and in my Facebook group of my book and where I was.
I saw that.
And it got more, those posts got more engagement than anything I've done in the last 30 days. Like we went and we're looking at the analytics yesterday or Tuesday, and it was insane, the amount and the comments. I mean, so seriously, walk around town and take a picture of your book. People, like, you never know what people want. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll set up a poll. That's a good idea.
I think my readers are waiting for the deer to come back so I can start posting deer pictures again. But we don't have any snow, and I'm not feeding the deer until we do. So they're not coming out anyway. They won't come until they can't get food elsewhere.
Elena?
Yeah.
I just posted the link to the Google Doc for signing up for the Sleuthing Women. I'm just wondering, it'd be simpler if we just start a new one maybe for 2023, because you have to scroll all the way down. There are going to be people saying, I don't see it or whatever. We always have something like that. Are you okay with that getting amended or replaced?
You know, that's fine, because Lori Hudson went and did it without even, like, she just kept it going. But do we want to, you know, I'll post a note in the Sleuthing Women group, like saying, what do the other authors, like, what do you guys think? Then I'll put a poll in the actual reader group and see how we might want to tweak it for 2023. Yeah, another tab or another page is completely fine. Lori just, I mean, because she is very invested in the group, took it upon herself to realize we're close to the end of the year, and Claire and I had not done it yet because it hasn't been on our radar either.
Yeah, well, you know,
I had an old group that she was in. She's really good about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Carolyn.
Oh, I was just going to say, whatever makes it bonehead easy is my speed, you know, so.
Exactly. And not take a lot of time, because we've all got 5,000 million things we're trying to do for marketing. And there's so
Patty
much.
Larson's really good about stuff like that too in that group. She is, anytime I put something out about something, she is on it. Hey, I'll sign up, I'll help, I'll whatever. She's a lovely Canadian lady. I like her very much. Okay. Ladies, that's 2 hours. Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Yep, got to get my words.
Yeah, me too. I got stuff to do today. All right. Hey, thank you to everybody, and good to see your faces.
You too, you guys.
Okay, see you later. Bye.